YouTube has decided to not share my videos with everyone who subscribes. Please follow me on social media to stay up to date. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater, and the Harley Quinn solo movie, well, I don't know if I'd call it much of a solo movie anymore. It's never really been presented as a solo spin-off from Suicide Squad. It's always been kind of viewed as just a squad film that's kind of a spin-off from Suicide Squad and another part of the DCEU. But let's face it, in 2016's Suicide Squad, one of the best takeaways from it was, in fact, Harley Quinn. Now, I really liked the movie, but a lot of people out there didn't, and that's totally fine. But I think most people agreed that Harley Quinn was really good, and Warner's really wanted to capitalize on this. In fact, right now with the DCEU, they're kind of going all-female all the time, and that's not bad. That's not bad. We're going to get a lot of cool stories that Marvel has not been able to touch yet, and as a result of this, I'm pretty positive that this is going to help bump up DC's cred in that particular regard. They're going to be able to say, look at us, we're so progressive, whereas the other guys, it took them 11 years to even get a female-led movie out there. Right? Like that was Woody Woodpecker, what the hell? But that's kind of what they're going to be doing, obviously. That's the angle they're going for here. But when it comes to Margot Robbie, especially with this new movie that they're working on, she wants it to be more like an R-rated girl gang movie. And when I first read the headline for that, my thought was, scissor me timbers, but no, it's not going to go that far, obviously. But I think they are going to make it rated R. They realize that now actually has an impact, and there are people out there who want to see this type of content. Venom, Deadpool, I mean, Kingsman, people want to see this kind of stuff. But let's see here what is being said. Now, it goes on to say here that the project was originally inspired by Birds of Prey, the female-led team of heroes who protect Gotham City. The team usually consists of Black Canary, Barbara Gordon, and Huntress, but not Harley Quinn, who would likely be the team's foe, though Suicide Squad showed a turning point for Harley from villain to antihero, which is very true, and I did like that arc. But the technicalities of Harley's villainy versus heroism doesn't seem to matter to Robbie, as long as she has a group of strong women surrounding her. In an interview with Collider, she gave an update for the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey movie, and she had pitched this actually in 2015. She says, I pitched the idea of an R-rated girl gang film, including Harley, because I was like, Harley needs friends, Harley loves interacting with people, so don't ever make her do a standalone film. She's got to be with other people. It should be part of a girl gang. I wasn't seeing enough girl gangs on screen, especially in the action space, so that was always a big part of it. Now, if you do recall, there was going to be an Expendables spin-off called the Expendables. That was going to be the all-girl version of that. That never materialized, and here Warner Brothers is releasing Ocean's 8 in just a few weeks, starring Sandra Bullock, and that is an all-female kind of like reboot of that particular franchise. Whether or not it's any good remains to be seen, but Warner's is very much focusing on female-led projects, and it's going to have an interesting impact on the box office, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Now, it does go on to say here, girl gangs are ratings, I'm in, although that vision doesn't seem to jibe with the classic Birds of Prey team. Perhaps the film will combine the concepts of Birds of Prey with the still in development Gotham City Sirens, which would have featured more villainous characters. Now, that one, Gotham City Sirens, which was originally going to be done by David Ayer, I don't know if he's still attached to that one or not. That's more of like the Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, and Catwoman. That's the angle they want to go for with that one. But it says here that since rocketing to fame in 2013's Wolf of Wall Street, Robbie has been shrewd about the project she's picked. Robbie is steadily becoming a formidable producer, and she's always using her sway behind the scenes to form an all-female team behind the camera as well as in front of the camera. By saying here, and of course having a female director to tell the story and giving a female director the chance to do a big budget stuff, they always get the, here's a tiny little film. I was like, I love action films, I'm a girl, what are we meant to, or what are we meant only to like a specific thing? So it was hugely important to find a female director for this if possible, but at the end of the day, male, female, the best director gets the job, and Kathy was the best director. And that, of course, is referring to Kathy Yan, who's going to be directing the movie, whatever it's called, whatever it's going to be called at this point. Apparently she's working with screenwriter Christina Hodson, who wrote Bumblebee, to develop the movie and making it the R-rated girl gang. And that is fascinating to me on many levels. For one, I want to see what comes from this. I want to see what Warner's is going to be doing and by going down this path. I know there's a lot of people out there that are going to be like looking at this as kind of excommunicating men from the DCEU and so on and so forth. It's not. They're you know, studios always have to kind of be playing what's in vogue at the time. And that's kind of where we are. I mean, you know, having that shift, having that change. Star Wars did it with you know, Rogue One and the new films being female led. That was, you know, meant to kind of showcase diversity, but these women were white and British, so that kind of caused its own problems. Here we have Margot Robbie, who is white and Australian. You know, I mean, so it's going to be really interesting to see how they kind of play the diversity card and the gender card, while still kind of having these standard, you know, these standard template movie stars in the leads. But I do also I do commend Margot Robbie for using her sway to see the type of change that she wants to see, or to bring the type of change that she wants to see. And I know Warner's right now is in a position where they need the money. They need to have a win. Wonder Woman, being directed by a woman and being all about female empowerment at the time, really resonated with audiences. $800 million worldwide, nominated for a few Oscars, or at least attempted to be nominated for a few Oscars, and one that was basically the one good DCEU film that was reviewed like that. And so it was, you know, it's an idea they want to go for, and I'm curious to see what happens. We'll have to wait and see, but an R-rated Harley Quinn movie with friends makes sense. And it would only make sense if it's Gotham City Sirens and it's Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy and Catwoman and maybe a couple of the other characters. But at the same time, if they're trying to play off the hero versus anti-hero or the villain versus anti-hero narrative, having in Barbara Gordon and Batgirl is probably going to be another good way to go about that too. If anything, I would rather this be kind of like have both of them in the movie, having that be the good and the bad, and then ultimately having to work together to solve a certain problem would play up what needs to be done. You know, it's always interesting when the heroes and the villains have to work together to solve a common problem. And I think that allows those kind of good stories to come on out. So we'll have to wait and see what goes on here. I am cautiously optimistic, but then again, I view the DCEU at this point as just the underdog, and everyone loves an underdog story, myself included. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next, and who knows, it could be good. It could also be shit, but we'll have to wait and find out. But I put it to you in the comments. What are your thoughts on this one? They should be fun. If you haven't already, please thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, check back often for more content from me. If you want to support it, the best way right now is through Patreon, or you can just watch more content. And if you want to see more videos, and I hope you do, you can do so right now.